Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video we are going to be building our own custom Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria in Minecraft using awesome add-ons and texture packs to really make this place feel alive. Over the past couple of years we have reviewed tons of awesome looking add-ons, but I finally wanted to put them all to a really fun purpose and build my own custom Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria in Minecraft, which we are going to be doing in today's video. So without any further ado, let's get right into building. So just looking at my inventory, you can see all the amazing blocks and textures that we are going to be able to use for our own location here, and I've downloaded more add-ons than I think I ever have for this location. I want to make this place feel the best it possibly can, so I think I've downloaded the correct add-ons for this. As usual, the links will be in the description down below if you want to go and mess around with all these add-ons for yourself. But as you can see here, we are in a bit of an open area with no building here, so I think it's best that we set ourselves a base so that way we're able to actually build our foundations and start our structure. And just like that, we now have a base for our location. One last thing before we actually get this started is I need to shout out Shadow Freddy 734 for finding the hidden cup of tea in my last video. Like usual, I find a hidden cup of tea somewhere around the video, and this video is going to be no different. So if you find a hidden cup of tea somewhere around this video, make sure you timestamp it down in the comments below for a chance to get a shout out in my next video. Chiseled stone bricks looks to be an awesome choice, and we're going to need some checkered patterns for the side there, but I want to make it with a foundation as well. So let's try this mossy stone brick to start out with, and then of course we're going to need a front door entrance so that way all of our customers can actually enter the building. So let's go ahead and look for some doors here. This one looks nice. I like the birch door, and just looking at here, is there anything else we might need at the moment? I think that should be good to start off our location. So let's just start it right here. I'm probably gonna have to end up chipping away a bunch of this area because this is definitely going to be a lot bigger than what I have in mind here. But let's just go ahead and start building our main entrance here. I already have a pretty good idea of what this place is going to look like once I'm done. I've based it off of a lot of amusement parks and a lot of buildings that are actually around me in real life. So this should be really interesting and a lot easier way for me to make this in Minecraft. So let's go ahead and make some double doors as an entrance. I think that's going to be really cool. So let's go ahead and split this off about 4 blocks right here. So this is going to be our main entrance. So instead of just a single door like this, I'm thinking we can make double doors so that way there's a lot more space for customers to enter and exit the building. So just like that, I think that's going to be an awesome start to the entrance. So let's go ahead and expand this out a little bit more just so you can get the general idea of what I have in mind. So this area right here, which is actually quite big, but we're going to need a lot of space for this. This is going to be the main entrance where patrons are going to be able to enter the building and get tickets to be able to go to their favorite attractions. And this is going to stick out from the main part of the building. So we're going to have a little or big rectangle right here that disconnects from the rest of the establishment, which will be circling around all over here. So I think this should be good for now. I'm not going to start worrying about a roof. I think that'll be the thing I do last. But yeah, I like the shape this is going. I might actually have to expand this out a bit more just so that we have all the room needed for what I have in mind. With the structure of the entrance out the way with, now I want to start working on what the reception desk is going to look like, and I don't know if I want to make it this same kind of pattern because this is just your foundations walls of the location. I don't know if I want to make it maybe decorative, so maybe we can use some of this. I know it's supposed to be Foxy's Cove, but in my universe we're going to make it the reception desk to make this place feel a lot better. So I went ahead and changed a few things around. As you can see here, this is kind of my general idea of what I want the reception area to look like. I've gone ahead and replaced the Foxy's Cove kind of colors to this reddish kind of color, and I actually think it works out a whole lot more because then there's a lot of other colors we can mess around with the actual location itself, just so that we have some nice contrast between all the colors here. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to set myself a little bit of a boundary just so that I know where my limits are going to be. So I don't want this place to be overly massive. We're not building ourselves a Freddy Fazbear's mega pizzaplex, although what I have in mind for this location is a bit of a play center. I don't just want it to be a generic Fazbear pizzeria. I want this place to be like its own kind of play center where there's going to be a whole lot of other things. Maybe a trampoline attraction here, maybe some laser tag as well, because I know a few of those exist in real life as well. So I think that should be really cool. So maybe just starting off with a shape like this for now could be the way we work around this. Let's see what we have for paintings actually, because oh god, there's a whole bunch of default ones. I'm pretty sure I have the texture pack active. Yeah, here you go. So you can see all the paintings like this. There is a ton of them that we're going to be able to use here. So yeah, I'm excited to see what we can do. I'm thinking maybe if there's a big one, we can put it right here at the entrance or something. Yeah, that looks nice. I actually like that. Let's go ahead and put it at the front as well. There we go. That looks really nice as an exterior detail. We'll go ahead and focus more on the exterior later on. But for now, I just want to get this lobby out the way with. So there we go. I think this should be fine for now. Just a few chairs around the waiting area. I went ahead and added in some glass like here, which looks a bit like a trash can. So, you know, people can put stuff in the trash instead of littering all over the place. And then for the front reception desk, I went ahead and decorated a little bit already. I put this sun and clouds decoration because I think it looks really nice. And then I went ahead and put in some office chairs instead of these just waiting chairs, because, you know, it's waiting chairs. People aren't going to be there very long. However, employees are going to be sitting here for hours on end. So I went ahead and gave them big comfy chairs. But what I want to do to finish off the reception area is kind of make a little bit of a workstation. So I'm using barrels here because, as you can see, they kind of look like working cabinets, and you can go ahead and open them because they are barrels. So I think stuff like that, I think that's going to work really well. So now we need to find something that could represent a computer or a cash register or something. I wonder if we can find any of that around here. So I actually found some retextured skeleton skulls which act as little monitors that we could put up on the desk. So I think that's going to leave it for now. This place does look really nice, actually, a lot more welcoming than how it was just bare by itself now that we have all of these decorations around. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for the main waiting area here. So now we can actually go ahead and get started on this area here. So I want this place right here to be a little bit more of just a big open area where families can come together or parties can come together. So this place right here is going to be a little bit empty, but what I want is the attractions to be on all the other sides of this place. So we're gonna have a big open area here, and then we'll see what we put around here. So this first wall here, what I have in mind is a bathroom area. So, you know, just as you walk in case you need to go just before you get the party started, I'm thinking we get a little bit of a bathroom hallway going along here near the entrance as well. So there's probably going to be multiple bathrooms littered all over the place, but I'm thinking if we just do a smaller one that stretches across here for now. So let's just make the way a bit like this. That way we have some space to make the bathrooms a little bit bigger and not tiny like how when I usually make bathrooms, because usually in FNAF maps I don't really care about smaller details like this. However, I do plan on actually making this world downloadable once I'm finished here. So in case any of you guys want to check it out for yourself once I'm finished with it, the link should hopefully, I say hopefully in case I've forgotten, the link should hopefully be down in the description below once I'm finished making this, and I might make some few changes off camera just to make sure that this is actually download worthy. So when I like to build bathrooms like this, I always usually put it mirrored, so that way when you look through the mirror you're actually looking through the other side, so it makes it look like there actually is a mirror. So I've gone ahead and copied what I've done on this side as well. So now that I've done that, now we need to look at the rest of the decorations. So there's no sink. Is there a... There's a toilet. That just makes this place a lot more functional. So let's go ahead and fill up all of these stalls with toilets. I don't know if they're working, but I'll let you find that out on yourself. Let's go ahead and put these presents there and a few clouds around the place. And I think this should be all right as a bathroom hallway. Maybe for the sake of it, we can go ahead and put a wet floor warning just outside one of the stores right there. Maybe put it, I'm not sure, just somewhere around there. Maybe, I think that works fine. So just somewhere around, I'm still changing this there, right there. I think that will be fine. Just as, again, a little bit more environment to make this place feel a lot more alive. So moving away from the bathroom areas, now I'm going to focus on the main show stage itself, the main attraction where we're going to have all the animatronics performing up on stage. So I'm thinking we do something like Security Breach, where we have some massive open area like the atrium and just some gigantic show stage for everyone to see. So I'm thinking just around about here we make ourselves a massive show stage, have a bunch of tables lined up, and just have an open area, so that way the show stage should be able to be visible, if not just you can barely see it from the rest of the establishment. And I think that's going to make this place feel a lot better. So let's just make an absolutely gigantic show stage. Yeah, I think this should definitely be big enough for our animatronics up on stage. And then we'll go ahead and do some extra detailing around it, like we'll do the party room, we'll do a backstage area as well. I have all of this planned and I can't wait to see what it looks like in its final form. Now, if this doesn't yell grand show stage, I don't know what does. I really like the way this turned out. We've got 4 speakers, 2 on each side, some balloons going around the place, some background decorations, some presents as well, and as you can see, I've already added in the employees only section where we're going to be having the backstage right behind the stage, because I think it makes a lot more sense to have the parts and service room be actually behind the stage, so that way if animatronics need maintenance, it's just right there, they walk through the door and they can be performed on just like that. So what I've thought about doing next is making separate party rooms for all of the birthday people. So if it's your birthday, you get a special occasion and you get to have your own separate party room. So I'm thinking of making this strip right here multiple different party rooms. So we'll go ahead and split them off, but we need to make them big enough so that way we can still have quite a few tables. And I'm thinking maybe we could possibly add a show stage in each one, just so maybe in case they're really special, then they get to have their favorite animatronic perform in their little party room. So right here, it doesn't need to be too big. We just have a few tables going around, some chairs, and then possibly have some stage, a little bit of a stage in the corner. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do for this little section here. I want to make it a bit different than what you would usually expect. Like I said, this is going to be a party center. This isn't really a pizzeria. So I want to make this place not on the scale of Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, but I still want to make it show off in its own unique way. So when it came to the party rooms, I really just went all out with the decorations on this, and honestly, I really liked the way they came out. It was a lot better than what I had in mind. When I said what I was planning on doing, I honestly started getting a bit worried on how this was going to end out, and it honestly turned out really well. Now, it is just the same thing copied 3 times, but to be fair, it's just 3 separate party rooms. I don't think they need to be unique in their own way. However, I have done something special where, as you can see, this party room has the puppet music box. So I've used the paper pals to represent the puppet, as there isn't a cardboard cutout of the puppet. So the puppet's party room is going to be right here. This one I decided to use Mangle's because Mangle won't be up on the show stage. I just want to have Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica up on the stage. So maybe we can have an own separate room for Mangle herself. So she's going to be partying up there. And the final one is going to be a bit weird, but I chose Balloon Boy because Balloon Boy kind of just doesn't sit right. So I figured out, instead of having his own corner like he does in FNAF 2, let's give him his own party room. So each one of the 3 rooms has their own special location where each 3 animatronic is going to be able to perform, and they literally are just the exact same room, copy pasted 3 times with different tables. But apart from that, I really like the way these turned out. So we're going to be moving on to the kitchen now, which I want to be in this area here. I've already had to expand the entire location. So we're going to have the backstage right here, and we're going to have the kitchen here. So for the kitchen, I wanted to have it in this corner just to have it away from the main building itself, because it wouldn't really fit anywhere else. The party rooms, the eating rooms are all going to be right here. Of course, you're going to have the main show stage with all the bunch of party tables over here as well. But I want all the attractions to be on this side of the location, kind of just to separate it out a bit. So we're going to have the kitchen right here. So let's just go ahead and punch a hole in the wall here, see what door we can work with. This door works really well. It's called kitchen door as well. So there we go. We're going to be using this door for the kitchen, and I think it's going to work really well. Of course, we will put decorations on both sides just like that. I think that should be fine. So working with the kitchen, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it because kitchens are not my thing. I struggle making kitchens all the time. They end up being generic, the same all the time. So I'm going to try work with a bigger area than this. This definitely isn't going to work. I'm going to try figure out an area that fits right here that doesn't interact with the parts and service room behind the show stage, and I'll come back in a few minutes and show you what progress I've made. So this is basically what I had in mind. This is going to be the finished product, I think. Maybe adding in some, adding in some pizza might actually be a good idea, because I've used it already a ton around the map, so I don't see why I shouldn't be using more of these pizza decorations. But you can take a look and see how this kitchen is going to look. I went ahead and added in some pizza boxes just to add some more to the kitchen here. And then this doorway here is going to lead to the freezer, which the door is open right now. That's probably not a good thing for whatever food's being kept in there. But also, like I said, there's going to be a delivery entrance, so a truck can park backwards, so the backside is towards the building, so that way you can easily take out supplies and put them straight into the kitchen. So I'm going to do something with this later. I'm not going to focus on it right now. Right now, I'm solely focusing on the actual location itself. So we've actually got quite a big chunk done, actually. I mean, a lot of it is empty, but we're going to be filling it up with arcades and tables. In fact, that will probably be the next thing I do right now, is add in a ton of tables going along here. So now we've actually put all the party tables in, I hope that you can now actually see my vision come together a little bit better, because I mean, it was just a big open area area with not much there. So it has got a bit of the space taken up. I mean, I was expecting it to be a bit more space all the way up here, but honestly, I like this. I think there's like 15 tables. So 15 tables times 6 chairs on each. That's a lot of people. I can't do quick maths, so maybe Mr. Editor can do it for me. I've actually missed some chairs right here. So yeah, you can now see this place come together a lot better. There is a ton of space for people to come together. Like I said, this is a party center for everyone to come together. So that's really nice. I like the way this has turned out. So I've actually gone ahead and changed the idea up. My original idea was to have 2 sets of arcades on each side. However, I've thought that it would be a bit better. First of all, I was missing a drink station. So I was thinking, you right here, instead of having some arcades, which wouldn't really make much sense, let's put some soda dispensers. So I'm just now thinking of how we're actually going to be able to do this. This actually works quite well. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be actually, but I found these jungle wood stairs and these red nether brick stairs, and I'm preferring this pattern here of the red with black stripes on top. Honestly, I kind of like this. I really like the stairs because it makes it feel like there's actually a gap in between the block and the stair block itself. Of course there isn't, but we're gonna have to use our imagination a bit here. So we can have some dispensers here. We'll go ahead and do the same on all of them. And then what I'm thinking about doing is on the other side of these soda dispensers, we can go ahead and put some extra decorations. Maybe we could use candles as like soda cups. Maybe that could be an idea, just something like that. Once again, we're gonna have to use our imagination here, but something like that could honestly work. So if we just put some at the end of each table, make it look like some of the cups have been taken, just stuff like that. And then we can have the other 2 blocks on the end maybe just left alone, as I really can't think of anything else that I could do. I'm a bit stuck on that one. I might come back and change it again later, but for now I'm going to move on to the arcades, which shouldn't be too bad to spawn in because I can just use commands, so they should hopefully all spawn in and face the same direction. But right here I'm thinking we do an arcade room, and then over here we can finish it off by putting maybe a laser tag arena like I suggested earlier on. So after a very long time of placing arcades down, I think I've finally got them to a way I like them. So we've got the bigger arcades on the right here, and we've got the smaller arcades on the left, and I think that's plenty enough arcades. So what I'm thinking about doing now for all this is every FNAF location we know has some kind of ball pit, and there's also I forgot what it's called. It's like a merry-go-round or something like that. I don't know what it's called in the add-on, but we need those 2 to make ourselves an established FNAF location. So there it is, a carousel, not the merry-go-round. Same thing. I don't know. Does it really matter? Let's just put it like right here. It's kind of, it's honestly small, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't expecting it to be that small, but we can go ahead and put it there. I think that should do all right, but we need a ball pit. So I'm thinking we can do this so it has a red outline. So I'm not sure where we want it. Just put it on the end here. We're gonna have to move you, so I'm just gonna kick you out for now. That's a bit too close to the arcade, so let's just make a little bit of a ring right here. This will obviously be the perimeter of our ball pit. So all this, I'm not sure how I'm going to do the ball pit, and to be honest, that's going to be a problem that I'm going to have to face now, actually. Maybe balloons, actually. Hang on, hang on. I've got an idea. What if we use... I know what you're thinking, but hang on. I've actually got an idea here. This could be really smart. So if we do this, so with balloons they're like this, but oh, can we not place a block there? Please tell me we can place a block there. We can. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this now. So you can't place blocks, but you can set a block there and it won't suffocate the entity. So if we kind of do something like this, it kind of looks like I'm in a ball pit. So I think we'll do something like this. It's going to take a lot of time to summon in all the entities and set all the blocks, but I want to try this out because this could actually work out really well. We should be coming up near the end here where it should be all done. So yeah, that's our ball pit, and honestly oh goodness, of course I fall for the block that isn't done yet. Of course, what were the chances? Ignore that. Hang on. If we go ahead and put that there, I missed another one. My goodness, I am not a professional at this. There we go. So now the entire ball pit should be filled, and it actually looks like a ball pit. So using balloons as the balls, I think this works really well. I really do think this works really well. Now, again, I could have gone deeper if I wanted to, but I'd prefer it looks something like this than if you just did the top side of your head in the middle of a ball pit. So I'm really, really proud of the way this turned out. I haven't seen anyone do this before, so I'm always here for your ideas. Yeah, I'm really proud of this. So now we can actually go ahead and put our carousel right next to it. And now that makes a bit more sense. So right there. There we go. This place is definitely coming together a bit more. We've still got this area here. I'll find something to do with that. But what I have planned over here is a prize corner, because every arcade needs a prize corner where you can earn tokens or spend your tokens on prizes. And then right here, I'm going to add the laser tag area. So just next to the parts and service room, this area here, it's not going to be as big as the Phaser Blast Arena. It's just going to be a small little happy little laser tag area. But it should still be really cool nonetheless. So let's go ahead and punch a doorway here for where people are going to be able to enter. But before we move on to that, we need to finish up the prize corner. Yeah, this place is probably one of my favorite parts of the entire location now, if I'm going to be honest with you. Just the amount of colors that it all brings, there's so much to look at. I've decided to put the puppet box in the corner. I know I said that there would be a puppet over there, but honestly, you can have multiple animatronics. So there's a puppet that's right here. This can be the security puppet that, you know, the facial recognition stuff. And there's also the presenter puppet up on stage over there, so the security. And then the Showtime puppet. Here we got the ball pit, which we've already gone over. We've put a bunch of pizza on the wall yet again, and of course we have the actual prizes itself, which I think is really cool. So there's a whole bunch of plushies that come with the different add-ons I have installed. Of course, we've got the cupcake. You can never forget the cupcake. I went ahead and added a fan here, and of course the grand prize, if you somehow get like 100,000 tokens or whatever, you get a replica of Bonnie's guitar, which I think is really, really cool. So that's going to be it for the prize corner. I might add in another row of arcades here just to fill up this extra space here, but apart from that, I'm really liking the way this looks. I'm going to move on to the laser tag area, and then we can move on to parts and service, and then there'll be one last room, which I just remembered now, and then that should be it for this location, which is really exciting. Honestly, I think this turned out quite well, if I'm going to be honest with you. I really like these blocks here. It's literally just oak wood and acacia wood. However, it's supposed to be like the buttons for the doors in FNAF 1. I'm not sure what these blocks are supposed to be, honestly, but I love the neon colors so much that I went ahead and used it just to make little forts all around. So of course you've got the blue spawn over here where their flag is going to be, and the green over here where their flag is going to be, and your goal is going to try to rush from one side to another. Now it is small, however I can still imagine it being quite difficult and a lot of fun to do with a bunch of friends, which, speaking of which, I have put some hangers up here where you'd be able to put on your vest and grab your gun. So I think I made this 5v5, and to be honest, I think that's going to be way more than enough in this small arena here. I'm still really proud of it. I'll go ahead and add in some ceiling decorations once we've added in the roof, but you can see it's actually a little bit taller than the rest of the establishment. Let's go ahead and move on to the parts and service room, and we're going to have a whole bunch of fun with this one because there is a ton of props that I've been waiting to use that are going to work so well for this room. So this is really my idea for the backstage room. As you can see here, this is the main employees area where they walk in and they're going to need to fix some animatronics. So I went ahead and put a solid block table here so that way we're actually able to put the animatronics sitting down here with some test animations, because with these tables they look nice but you can just go right through it. So I don't want the animatronics to be doing that, so I've used this block here and it honestly doesn't look too bad. So again, all around here I've used some decorative items. So here there's some speakers, so just in case a spare speaker is needed, maybe just a spare chair here in case one breaks, spare Bonnie guitar, some spare radios, and a broken arcade machine, because we know those are going to break a lot, because just in case some people rage after they lose their game. But here where the withered animatronics are going to be, you can see all of these shelving units here with a bunch of animatronic endoskeleton parts. It honestly looks amazing. This is actually part of the FNAF 2 add-on that I didn't check out. I missed quite a bit when I made that review last year, but you can see here this looks absolutely amazing and it's definitely worth being. So I will be putting animatronics in all of this areas later on. As you can see, I obviously haven't put any of the animatronics out yet, and that I am really looking forward to, because that's really going to be the cherry on top of the cake. We are now moving on to the final room here, which is going to be the office. And I've spent a lot of time thinking where I'm going to do this, if this place even needs an office at all. But of course, if we're making a Freddy Fazbear's location, it definitely needs some kind of office. So I went back and forth thinking, do I need it next to the kitchen? Do I want it inside of the backstage? That doesn't really make much sense. So I'm thinking I am going to do what I originally had planned and do something like right here of some kind. So sorry, Mr. Pizza, we're going to have to go ahead and get rid of you. The reference I'm going to be thinking of is Final Nights 4. The office in that game is quite rectangular in shape like this. Instead of it just being a poxy little office like what we see in FNAF 1, 2, and 3, I'm thinking of making this office actually have multiple workers in it at once. So instead of just having one night guard, maybe you have a whole security team or something like that, like 1 or 2 guards at a location at a time. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. So we're going to have like a wall with a bunch of monitors, because that's what security locations would be like in real life. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this room here, and I'll go ahead and give you a progress update and show you what I've done. So as far as offices go, it doesn't need to be too pretty, because once again, it's going to be in an employees only area. But honestly, I think this really works the way I wanted it to. So like I said, there's going to be multiple employees being able to work in this place at once, instead of just having a single guard during the day or night. We've actually got stations for 3 employees, possibly more if there's some stationed outside of the security room. But of course, right here, we have our monitor set up with a bunch of TVs. We're going to go ahead and put security cameras all over the place, but we haven't done that just yet. Of course, you've got your desk fans, because you always need some of that. There's a second station over here with just a single desk, and this lever right here, I haven't functioned it yet, but it will be able to open and close this security door right here. So I'll go ahead and do that later on. You don't need to see me do any of that. I went ahead and installed some lockers again, and this time I actually went ahead and made them functional. So that door's not functional, so we can go ahead and get rid of that. So there's actually some lockers right here, which you could hide inside if you really wanted to, but I went ahead and put it in the security guard hat right there, just so that you know who is an employee and who's not. So yeah, I'm really liking the way this turned out, and the addition of these vending machines here, I think is just what makes it so great. Just having vending machines in a security room, I think that's just the best part of this, if I'm going to be honest with you. So I'm going to go ahead, put in a roof, put in a bunch of lights, set up some security cameras, and then we can finish up the decorations with a bunch of hanging props that should really make this place a whole lot more alive. Alright, so progress update, the lights are now all in, and if I'm going to be honest with you, I think this took the longest time out of everything. It took me over an hour just to install all the lights. So what I've done is I've connected all the lights to a single switch over in the employees only room. So I'm gonna have to get rid of this door for now. I will activate it with redstone later, but you can see the switch here. If we go ahead and flip it off, all of the lights turn out, and this is how it would be during the nighttime or night shift. So we'll go ahead and flip it back on so we can actually see what's going on here. Now you might have noticed that the stage lights are actually off, and that's because I added in its own separate lever. So when showtime is about to start, then you go ahead and flip on that lever, and then all the show lights turn on. So I think that's a really cool mechanic right there. So when showtime isn't happening, the lights are off, just to save a little bit of money for financial reasons, because we know how Fazbear Entertainment likes to cut corners. But apart from that, all the lights are in, all the roofing should be complete. So the last thing to do is to set up all the banners, and that should be it. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have now finished our entire Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. I'm really excited to show you what the finished product looks like, because I mean, it just looks a lot better than I thought it would, now that we've actually put it all into reality and my idea has become a actual thing. So here, of course, we have the opening center where you have to go and get your tickets, so that way you're able to go in and party. So we've got a few stations right here for the employees. There's also cameras littered all over the place, which was another feature that I added. So you can see there's a camera right there. Oh goodness, I didn't mean to do that. Hang on. Without hitting anything, we've got a camera there, and we've also got a camera on the other side. But let's just take a look at this main party room itself with all the hanging banners. Of course, we have the giant show stage with the Let's Party and the animatronics performing up on stage. They look absolutely amazing in their way right here. Of course, we've got all the decorations behind there. We've got all the separate party rooms here, which I've added in all the animatronics for. So here we have the puppet. Here we have Mangle performing up on their show stage. And of course, we have Balloon Boy just doing whatever Balloon Boy does, giving people balloons. Let's move on to the kitchen. You can just see all of this extra decoration that I've added. Another camera up there in the corner to make sure no one wanders in here. Of course, we have all of this amazing furniture to make this place actually really look realistic. We've got a camera looking outside here, so where all the delivery will be added, and of course we've got our little freezer room right here. So that's the kitchen. Again, I struggled a bit making it, but I'm really proud of the ending design. So let's go ahead and go to the backstage room, where we're going to find it. It's a bit different than the last time we checked, but it still looks pretty much the same. So I had to put this here just as like a pipe, so it represents where wiring would be, because the wiring for the redstone for the show stage, yeah, it's right behind here. So I just wanted to put that there. Honestly, it doesn't look bad. It looks like something you'd see in a regular building anyway. So of course we have some lockers, our camera looking at our parts and service animatronics just in case they need a spare one. Of course we have an animatronic endoskeleton right here, and we have the wizards sitting here in the back room. Of course we have with Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy. That's all we really need, because that's all that's really up on the show stage, so you can use those for parts in case you need to. So let's go ahead and move on to the party area over here, or the play area, where we have the security puppet outside of the music box, making sure that no one sneaks in and tries to do a bunch of stuff. Here we've got the ball pit, which I'm still really proud about. I mean, this thing just looks absolutely amazing. I'm so happy with the way this ball pit turned out. This entire area in general might be one of my favorite areas. Of course, we've got another camera up there looking at the puppet in case it moves around at night. Here we have the small supply closet, but again, it doesn't really need to be that big. I mean, it's just a supply closet, so we have some spare TVs. Of course, our shelf right here, and some boxes just in case we need some spare supplies. Of course, we have all of the amazing arcades right here, so you can have a ton of time just playing on your favorite games. Balloon Girl, I completely forgot about you, so I just went ahead and added her right here outside of the prize corner, where of course you have all the amazing prizes. And moving on here, we have the security office, which again hasn't really changed much, but again, it's a really well looking security office, where instead of just having a small little room with a single night guard, there's actually multiple employees that can work in this place at once. And then the final room is going to be the laser tag area, where of course we have our main lobby here, where you grab your equipment before you wander in to the arena right here. And honestly, I'm really liking the way this turned out as well. It's really small, but I still like what I've done for the scale that I went with. So that should be everything in this location. Actually, no, I forgot the most important part. Give me a second. We forgot about the bathroom hallway, which how did I forget that? That's probably the most important part of this location. So I actually have updated it a little bit. I went ahead and added in some actual functional sinks that were in the kitchen as well. So instead of just cauldrons, these look a whole lot better. And of course, we have our toilets as well that we can sit on and do our business without anyone getting in our way. So yeah, that is our Freddy Fazbear's Party Center. I believe that's what I've been calling it the whole time, the Party Center for Freddy Fazbear's. And honestly, I really like the way this turned out. I had a ton of fun building this. I think it took me around about 5 hours in total to build this, but that's because I was just spending a lot of time doing all the lights and everything like that. That takes a lot of time. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. It was a bit different than usual, but I thought it would be a fun idea to just build my own location in MCPE. And like I said earlier on, the link will be in the description down below once I get permission from all the creators who of course have their add-ons in this, because without them this wouldn't be possible. So they are really the ones to thank for this amazing video. But anyway guys, I'm going to leave this video here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you leave a good like in it, and if you are new to the channel, why not consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell, make sure it's ringing so you're notified every time I upload and you never miss a video. And once again, if you did find the hidden cup of tea hidden in this video, then make sure you timestamp it down in the comments below for a chance to get a shout out in my next video. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.